Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel here on YouTube, and if you're listening in the podcast, thank you so much for being here. First of all, I gotta say I've been MIA for the past maybe 3 weeks, just right before the holidays. I was dealing with the situation, life happens, but this particular reason that I haven't been posting or haven't been creating any content was because my mom um, she has been sick for a while, and now about 2 weeks ago we had to take her to the emergency room, and it was like crazy. One thing I gotta say, one thing is for you to be sick, but once you see a parent being sick and they have to go to emergency surgery and all of that stuff, it's just terrible. Okay. I do have, I pray so much, and I pray to have faith and to, just to believe that God is gonna take care of it like He's always been. But you still find yourself in this position where you're like, I can't believe, nothing else matters. I'm like, I shut everything down. I didn't want to do nothing else until she was feeling better. And this is why I'm back, because now things are slowly, somewhat, kind of settling down. But I do gotta say, if you come to my channel and you watch my videos or you're listening to the podcast, please keep my mom in prayer, and keep our family in prayer. This is, like I said, it's very hard to see one of your parents being sick and dealing with something, and it's just horrible. I remember in the hospital people would say, oh well, Merry Christmas or Happy New Year. I'm like, all of that has been canceled. The minute my mom got sick, all of that was canceled, and that's just how I deal with things. I know people, everybody deals with situations differently. For me, until everything has been settled, like I feel like I'm not able to move forward, and it's been like that for a while. I guess that's just one of the things that I do, and I pray to God. I pray to God. I find myself praying and saying, um, how can I, you know, trust in you more than what I'm doing right now, because I feel like I didn't want to do nothing else until she was feeling better. So please keep our family in your prayers. So I just wanted to come and tell you why I haven't been posting as I normally would do. But early in December, well, maybe like right before that happened, like late middle of December, like the 20th or something like that, I learned about this story, and I was like, when you read about something that happened, you're like, I gotta make a video about this. And this is what's gonna happen in this year, right? This is my official first video, first podcast episode of this year 2024, and I needed to speak about this because let me just tell you something. Even dealing with the whole situation with my mom, God revealed to me the hearts of people who I thought were true Christians, who I thought were really for me, people who masquerade themselves with an appearance of Christian, but at the end of the day, they're filled with so many things that are not the fruit of the Spirit. And even so, I was dealing with my mom and the whole situation. I still was able to find myself seeing people's true heart, and I know the year was coming to an end and all of that. I'm like, man, maybe God is using this also to reveal to me some of the people that I need to just leave behind in 2024, because there's a lot of people out there, that call themselves Christians, but they really don't have the love of the Lord in them. It's all a mask. And the reason that I'm saying this, because what I'm going to speak about is something about people who think that they can fool the Lord. Okay, nothing escapes God. First of all, whatever you think you're doing and people are believing your lies about somebody else, and you're going around and you creating slander about somebody, and just because other people believe you, and then you hide yourself under this mask of, oh, I just want to help, I'm trying to be a good person, which you're not. You're being a selfish, unkind, unloving person. and you think that God doesn't see your heart, doesn't see your motive, and you think because you're able to fool regular people that you're also gonna fool God and you're gonna get away with it, you are wrong. I do believe with everything that happened, I think my last video was about TD Jakes, with everything that happened with TD Jakes and all of that stuff, everything coming to the surface, what happened to me, it was like a couple people that I noticed that God was really showing me their true heart. You know, when God gives you like red flags about somebody and you're still like, man, maybe, you know, maybe I saw that wrong. Maybe I'm gonna give them, and you give them another chance, and they reveal themselves slowly to you, and you're like, oh, maybe I'm thinking too much into it, and then once again, you know, you find yourself in a situation with the same people, and you're like, man, God already told me this, and now it's happening. It's really bad, and it's like it will get really bad until you make the decision to kind of see things for what they are and accept it and remove yourself from people that are not for you, from people who are masquerading themselves, pretending to be Christians when they're not. And God reveals to you the hearts of people, right? There's also a lot of assumptions that goes in, and people think that, I don't know, like, because I guess for me, like, I'm into fashion and all of that, like, I don't fast and pray, and God doesn't reveal things to me, which He does a lot. And you know, they think that you can also be fooled. And the reason that I'm saying that, like I said, you know, going back to the whole TD Jakes and God bringing things to the surface in this year 2024, you really, people need to like get right with God. You're not fooling anybody. God is gonna, once you get checked, you think you're gonna say so many things about somebody. You're gonna go to a country like this couple that I'm gonna speak to you about. They're missionaries that went to a country, foreign country, to spread the gospel, to do the works of the Lord, and they were actually arrested for child molestation. And this is the thing that really is so disgusting, because I always say, you know, I admire people who are missionaries, right? They leave their comfort of their homes to go to a foreign country, a lot of the times not even knowing the language, not even knowing where they're going to sleep, not even knowing if they're going to have food every day, nothing like that. And they go out there to be the hands and feet of Jesus, to spread the gospel, to do the works of the Lord. And then for this couple to actually be arrested after abusing children, it's really like, man, you think you're gonna fool God? And you think you're just gonna get away with it? Like, what are you thinking? One day you're gonna get checked by the Lord Jesus Christ, and you better be ready, because it's not gonna be good. And this is why I'm speaking like this, because there's a lot of foolish people out there who think they're gonna masquerade themselves as a Christian and think just because they can fool other people easily, that God, they can also fool God. God is not mocked. Everything will come to the surface. And just starting this year by, you know, the end of 2023, seeing everything that was coming about, you know, let's just say, for example, TD Jakes, you know, because a lot of people are still shocked by that. You think that you're gonna do all of that stuff, right? Other people lying on people, okay, lying on people, and say, I'm just trying to be a good Christian. I'm just trying to be, you know, pretending to be a Christian when you're not. And you think you're gonna fool God, and God is just gonna let you slip by. One day you're gonna get checked. Every word that you said about somebody, trying to get other people to hate on them for your own selfish reasons, that's gonna one day be brought up to the table, and you better be ready to answer. Okay, every evil word that you said about somebody, okay, and there's a lot of people out there playing the victim, getting people against each other just for their own selfish motive, and they think just gonna get away with it. People are playing with fire, man. This is no time to do that. Okay, people, like, I don't know what it is lately, like, it's almost like once you see it, it's so hard to not unseen it. People, even the way they even speak, they make themselves like, you know, there's a lot of fake crying too. And I'm not trying to say I've been fasting and praying for like this month of December. That's what I've been doing the most. And then the thing with my mom happened, so that even prompted me to even get more into fasting and prayer. And there's a lot of things that has been revealed to me. And it's almost like once you see that pretend this spirit that's going on around right now, it's like it's so hard to unsee it, not see it on certain people who are doing that over and over again. Okay, so um before I get too much into saying that, I want to talk to you guys about the topic for today, which is this Canadian couple, 35-year-old Canadian couple, was arrested in the Dominican Republic. That's the country where I'm from, for sexually assaulted and threatened two minors in a town called Jarabacoa. Okay, once again, here we are, pretenders, okay? Pretenders saying, oh no, we're going to another country to share the gospel. We just want to do good work for the Lord. You're gonna get checked. Like, I don't understand how people think they're just gonna get away with things like this. 2024 is going to be the year that God is just going to reveal so much, okay? He's going to reveal to you the hearts of people. There are also people who are so into just serving, and we want to serve, and the Martha, right? And they think that by serving and, just being there, and the minute the church open, being there all the time and serving, like they are better than other people. And the people that don't come to church, they're so far away from God, because like all of that, God knows your motive. God knows your intentions when you do that. God is gonna get you checked one day, and you better be ready to answer. You're not fooling anybody. You think just because you're serving all the time in the church that God doesn't know that your heart is filled with pride, and you're just doing that to pretend to others, to pretend that you're closer to God because you're there all the time serving, and whoever couldn't make it to church today is so far away from God that they need deliverance or something like that. People, like, I don't understand how people just continue on with life and think they're just gonna fool God and think that they can hide their heart from the Lord. That's crazy. So this couple that I'm gonna speak to you about, then his name is Eric Pepper and Tracy Lynn Pepper, both 35 years old, from Toronto, sexually assaulted and threatened two minors in a town called Jarabacoa, about 150 kilometers north of the capital of Santo Domingo. According to the prosecutors, the twisted twosome recorded the abuse. Not only did they abuse the children, they recorded them, okay? He recorded the abuse, and it was discovered in 2021 by the shocked mother of the 12-year-old victim, and that's when she called authorities. Okay, how sickening is that? To do that and to gain the confidence of somebody and say, because let me just tell you something. I'm Dominican, and people from my country, from what I noticed when I was growing up over there, we see people that come from America over there. And I remember being in the church over there and receiving a lot of missionaries that came, and it was so much fun because I love hearing them like trying to speak Spanish to us, and like their willingness to show us new things. I remember learning a few songs in English too when I didn't even speak the language, just because they were going there for like vacation Bible school, and they wanted to to do that kind of culture exchange, and they're missionaries, and you see them almost like you put them in this pedestal because they're doing the works of the Lord. Like I say, they leave their homes and they're doing the works of the Lord. And I remember asking my mom, we're going to the missionaries' home. They're doing like a get together, and people who do that, they earn the trust of their parents very fast, because these are church people, right? These are people that come from another country to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. How can you not trust them? So this couple, they earn the trust of the people in Jarabacoa, and then the mom discovered a recording of their children being abused by them. How crazy is that? This is what people are playing with fire, saying that they're coming in the name of the Lord and doing that. And they think they're just gonna get away with it. Like, people are playing with fire, man. Because now that they get locked up, they're getting the justice of man. Went to the Lord, you know. So, according to the prosecutors, the Twisted Twosome recorded the abuse, and it was discovered in 2021 by the shocked mother of a 12-year-old victim, and she called the cops. Adam then threatened the boy, telling him that if he landed in prison for the twisted assault, he wouldn't be able to give any gift, right? That's another thing. I remember a lot of missionaries, they never came empty-handed. They always brought gifts, you know. And being a child, like, you always want to be with them, you know. The minute they say in the church that they were doing an activity, like, I'm coming, I would never forget, like, this couple, they were great people though. This couple came, I don't know what state they were from, but I remember them, and they came and they invited us to their apartment, you know, all of the youth group, and we all went, and it was the best time. Like, we were baking cookies, we were making ice cream, things that we, you know, growing up in the Dominican Republic in low income, we never did stuff like that. Baking cookies, we never did that. Chocolate chip cookies, I remember doing ice cream, and that was such a great experience just to see how they show us how to do that and how awesome it was. And then we play games and things like that. A great fellowship time. So every time they put up like an activity thing, we were like, we're coming. Me and my sister were like, we gotta be there. So yeah, they earn the trust of the people. How can you not trust them, right? They come in the name of the Lord. And then Adam found out that the boy knew and the family knew about the abuse, and then he's threatening them, saying, you know, if I end up in jail, you're not gonna get any gift from me. What a sick couple these are, right? Already he had given the boy a cell phone where the mother discovered this disturbing sexual attack. You know, I always come here and tell you guys this, you know, be careful who you allow your kids to be with. I'm not one of those people who gets, you know, I don't trust people easily. And some days I'm like, I just, you know, and I'm like, I'm so thankful that I am like that, because that's the other thing. Because you're so hard to manipulate. People hate that sometimes on you. And, you know, they like people who are able to be manipulated and able to kind of like, you know, they tell you one thing, you believe it right away. So when you kind of like, it's hard to get to you, they hate that. And, you know, they're like, then they start making evil things about you, saying evil things about you, just because they cannot manipulate you easy compared to other people, right? So this man was giving this child like cell phones and stuff. Like, that's a big red flag. A 12-year-old should not be receiving gift from a married man, from a married 35-year-old man. A cell phone, like, for what? Like, yeah, if I'm the mom, I'll be like, you know, we don't really need this cell phone. I'll be checking on that cell phone all the time. And eventually this mom, that's how she discovered the abuse. Okay, she told the detective that the Canadian Bible puncture had asked her to leave the boy alone with him for increasing extended periods. That's another red flag. And I know you're not gonna be alone with them. Like, we just met, you know. Like, when we used to go to the missionaries' home, like, it was the youth group, entirely youth group, with our teachers too. It wasn't just me and my sister. So yeah, you have to look out for that. They should never be alone. Okay, it should never be alone. I know for convenience, and a lot of moms, you know, they go to work, a lot of parents go to work, and they're like, hey, he's willing to babysit for free. We don't have to worry about them. They seem to get along right. It's fine. And I'm not saying that can happen. There are couples who are fine, you know. But, you know, always be in the lookout. Look for changed behavior. If you see something strange and they're beginning to receive like all these gifts, something's off, okay? And I'm glad this mom was able to say, even though these are people from the church that come in the name of the Lord, I'm still not I'm still gonna check on that, and I'm glad she didn't. Look what she did, found. I think that's probably the Lord just leading her to kind of like pay attention. So this happened. Let me see, because I'm almost running out of time here. But it says here that he asked for a long time with them, and Tracy was convinced of sexually touching the boy and recording sexual image of the boy with the 13-year-old girl. So they made them, I don't want to get too deep into the details, but apparently there was a video of another 12-year-old boy and 13-year-old girl involved, and then they're both recording them together. What a sickening couple that is, right? The second victim told investigators that the girl and her family were also threatened with harm if she spoke about the incidents. According to the Lincoln profile, Adam and Tracy Pepper, which is the couple, the missionary couple that went there, were missionaries for the Toronto-based Commission to Every Nation Canada. On their profile, he writes, "My journey began back in 2007 when Tracy and I met in Bible college and shared a similar love for helping children in need. These people masquerading themselves to go to another country in the name of the Lord, right? And doing all of this abuse, recording these children, gaining the trust of the parents, giving them gifts, and threatening them once they were found out, and think they're just gonna get away with it. People are praying with fire. Like I said, this is gonna be the year that God is just gonna reveal, like God is not mocked. I don't know what people think, that they're fooling themselves. There's so many actors out there, I'm just trying to be a good person. When you have to say that, you're already like pretending to be something that you're not. A person who does a good deed or wants to give you like a good advice or wants to do something good for you doesn't even have to fake it like that so much, right? So God knows the heart, God knows your intention. No matter what, you're not fooling anybody, right? And I'm glad this couple got caught. Let me know what you guys think about this. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel and listening in the podcast. Have a good night. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. I'm here to invite you to my podcast, Julissadesigns, and it can be found on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can join me every day as I make episodes of the latest news, real life stories, and I also share my favorite Bible verse. Hope to see you then. God bless. Everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you want to know more about me, you can always visit www.julissadesigns.com. Have a great day, everybody. God bless.